Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. My name is Angel. I'm in the practice of making more space for my natural soul's expression. I believe there is way too much external noise in the world, and it's been hard in this lifetime to hear my own authentic voice. So I've been called to YouTube, being told that the next part of my journey is to share my journey. The next part of my work is to share my work. I do a lot of internal work. I invite you to come along with me. And if this is not for you, it's not for you. Um, all right. I never know. Okay, I'm feeling a little squirrely today. I just gotta let you know. Um, I I've caught a vision for the next phase of my life. If you know me, you know that I've lived a few different lives within this one lifetime, and this one has taken me a minute to get clear and to align my now self, right, with it. So yeah, your girl caught a vision, like actual visualization too. And perhaps I'll share, but for now, I'm gonna get quiet and see what my soul has to say. Um, all right. Catching a vision for my life has been really exciting this morning because that means the work is paying off. In some of the videos that I've shared here, there's been a kind of theme about fear and the limiting stories we let hold ourselves back from going after what we really want and living life to our truest potential. You know, you'll hear mentors and gurus say that often. Let me help you live to your fullest potential. And in a sense, that is kind of what I'm saying here too. And that's just it. I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything new. I want you to live to your fullest potential. I want to live to my fullest potential. I want us to live in alignment, in congruence with our mind, our bodies, and our spirits, because ultimately, I think that's the highest form of rebelliousness. I think that's the highest form of rebelliousness towards whatever dark sides there is. And then also, that's the highest form of honor and respect and love to whoever your God is. To honor oneself, to make space for safety and trust, and to share our gifts, no matter what that is. And so, yes, catching a vision for my life is actually in alignment with everything I've talked about thus far, because the work behind the scenes for me has been actively and consciously transmuting the fear of the unknown into excitement of the adventure. Okay, now stay with me here. I say that for myself. Stay with me here. I have no idea. Let me breathe. I once heard a stat, and go ahead and fact check me on this. Don't let me start any rumors. But I once heard a statistic of like humans get overwhelmed if there's anything more than three choices. And so when there's this example of choosing ice cream, really our brain operates best when it's like, okay, do you want chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry? Right? But when we go to, Baskin Robbins 31 flavors, there's just no hate on Baskin Robbins, no hate on ice cream in general. This is just an example for science. My girlfriend and I are like, ice cream is life, so don't let her catch me talking shit on ice cream. But my point is the brain can be become paralyzed when there's too many choices. Okay? That's the stat I heard. Don't quote me. I don't know. But there's something to be said about that. Let's tune in and think about how we feel when we have too many choices, quote, right? And this is what I was experiencing when I first moved out of my previous home. This infamous whiteboard that I keep referring to and leaning on, and oh my God, I love her. Um, I had wiped completely clean when I came here, kind of symbolizing let's start anew, let's start anew, let's start anew. And that's all fine and dandy, except it stayed blank for quite some time due to I truly believe there is infinite possibilities on how our lives can work out. And everything can be changed. Your whole life can change with one decision, a blink of an eye. Unfortunately, when we're in survival mode, more often than not, then it becomes very difficult to zoom out and see how one decision can change your life forever, can change the whole trajectory. And so, within that realization that there is infinite possibilities for this life that I get to help create via choices, via discernment, there was fear, there was paralysis. Well, what do you even want? Everything had been uprooted. So now I had to come face to face with, well, you know, I had to come face to face with all the limiting beliefs, right? You're a failure, you're broken, you're unworthy of anyone staying in your life, you're all the things, Gial, all the things. Oh, and then I had to kind of from healing, breathe. Mm. Through the work of healing through those complete falsehoods, complete falsehoods. Yes, unfortunate things happen to me, to you, to everyone. But no matter who we're dealing with, and perhaps this level of empathy, compassion, and understanding is a quote unquote coping mechanism of my choice to survive. But I do believe that no matter who we're dealing with, we're all just human, you know? Family, husbands, children, we're all traveling souls on this flying rock in space, doing our absolute best, aiming for some of the same things: safety, security, freedom, love, survival, connection, belonging. So there is no victimhood, there is no hatred, regret, animosity, or anger. It comes and it goes with the grief, but that's a life well lived, baby. I get to say, we went for something. We did our best and it didn't work out. Now that I'm in this practice of consciously and intentionally releasing blame, shame, guilt, hatred, there's there's a lightness about the steps that I take now. I think I'm bringing that up because those are some of the steps to be able to transmute fear into excitement or whatever positive emotion you're trying to evoke. Because if you notice, fear is rooted in some kind of blame, some level of shame, guilt, hatred, judgment, cynicism, that shoulda, coulda, woulda, all these things that, you know, listen, if we knew better, we would have done better, okay? Period. Period, point blank. I have to believe that. I have to believe everybody's doing the best of they can. Because at the end of the day, if not, I can be extremely disappointed. And that will just, again, cycle back into victimhood, cycle back into judgment and all the things. And fear. Ooh, cute. So circling back, catching a vision for my life kind of lets me know that my work is paying off. The vision was cool too, by the way. So let me tune in and see like what are we really saying? Where are we going with all of this? Okay. So in the name of being living proof of the working, I remember a time where I didn't have a vision within these last 2.5 years when I didn't think I'd amount to anything yet again, because I've thought that many a times in my life, but especially I think after the divorce, um, didn't have anything to give, didn't, just unclear, uncertainty, not knowing. And so, doing all of these works, creating these routines and these, mm, practices, catching a vision is giving me inspired motivation, internal motivation. And I'm not quite sure if motivation is the word, but something to, I'm a goal getter, goal, la, goal getter. And so to have goals helps me have something to strive for, right? So I'm really interested to see, I really am excited to see what's to come of this. Um, I am being asked to share my vision. But it's funny because then on the other side of the coin, sometimes you got to keep your dreams close to your chest, and I'm not quite sure what that's all about either, but okay, I'm asked to share. Like, I saw a total retreat space. I saw a home where I hosted retreats on this beautiful piece of land. And the vision came about from, reviewing or recalling some difficult conversations that I've had in the past few days with people. And I remember the feeling of safety afterwards with these people, feeling like home. To me, even though I've never really had the example of what a healthy, loving home looked and felt like, there were moments. I just want to say to any family that's watching, to any foster families that are watching, that I've, you know, had the divine pleasure of living under their roofs. There were definitely moments. And I think my flavor of trials and tribulations have led me to this beautiful, beautiful thing of what my definition or what my creation of home and family wants to manifest as. No one's perfect. I was a crazy kid. Y'all did your best. We all have our own traumas, our own healings, you know, and the kid is supposed to go above that, right? I get to sit under the shade because you planted the seeds and planted the trees. Okay? So I'm not saying any of this with an ungrateful heart or again any blame, shame, guilt, or hatred. Please know this. But my intention and my vision is to curate a space where people feel safe to come as they are, always. Having some of these difficult conversations over the last few days, I pride myself in creating a space and, embodying trust and safety so that when someone steps to me and says, "Can you help me understand what you meant by this?" Because it had me feeling judged, it had me feeling guilty, it had me feeling some type of way. The way that I handle that now, growing up in a very reactive and defensive household in my childhood, love you, is I'm able to now energetically like get on their side and go, let's see, what did I mean by that? And here's the circumstances. Knowing my heart, knowing how I love you, I could have meant this, I could have meant that. Let me tune in. We're on the same side. And gosh, that must have sucked to feel like I was judging you. Oh my gosh, the empathy, the compassion, the understanding, the teamwork, the love, the choice. I want a home. Pardon my tears. I want a home that embodies that for all of us. And so I was able to slip into meditation and truly envision, I mean, the walls, the floors, the rooms, the yard, the kitchen, the garage, the land. And there was such great peace because it was coming from not a place of survival. Again, my living situation is shifting and I could easily fall into survival mode. Oh my God, where am I going to live? And just choose the first thing that is working out just out of survival. But something about this vision today was very peaceful. So I bring this up to say that's today's evidence of the work working, the work being radically accepting where I am now with working through the lower vibrational feelings of rejection, brokenness, inadequacy, regret, remorse, rumination, frustration, anger, working through those, sitting with them long enough to fully accept where I am right now, while understanding that if I align with love every single day, trust that I've planted the seeds of something good, move forward as if things have already happened and already shifted, face my fears every chance that I can, always shoot for expansion and growth, and remember that I am powerful and I am strong. Like that's my daily kind of outline of what I want to feel. Slowly but surely, the energy is moved through me, and I am moved through the energy of those lower vibrational emotions. And I slowly have begun to rise above the noise, tune into my authentic self, answer the call of my natural soul's expression, and show up here for us. That's been the behind the scenes work to move through all of my flavor of trials and tribulations. And now I'm showing up, sharing that I have this vision as living proof that it does start to get better. I'm fucking stoked. I'm stoked. I don't know what's to happen, but I'm stoked. So it is with my deepest gratitude that I took a chance to start this. I took a chance to stay by my own side through all of this work because you know, it could have gone any way. It can go any way, but I choose this. So, for science, let's see what happens when I continue to choose this. Choose me for the greater good of everybody. Because a retreat space isn't just a home for safety and security and freedom for Angel. It's a safe space for you to come and just be, for you to come and recalibrate, recenter, recommit, and maybe even for the first time see what it's like to enter into four walls where you are truly accepted, seen, heard, understood, respected, loved, honored, celebrated. A place where you can lay down your defenses. Oh, it's like utopia. Hmm. Okay, let me get up off here. Let me get up off here. That was something. Those were words. I love you. Thank you. I don't know. I'm embodying this sense of groundedness and calm and confidence and receiving. And I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky come down. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. I love you. Mwah.